morning, good afternoon to you. How are you? Hope you're having a good one. So, last night, last night was about drama. Last night was about Amy, Amberlynn Reid, and Aunt Tammy going at it again. Let me set the stage for y'all because I was kind of watching her live here and there. I can't watch Amber all the way through. It just she annoys me the way she talks. It just talking like a 16-year-old. Anyway, so Amberlynn Reid was doing her live. Little thing of note, Amberlynn Reid was not sober during her live. She had smoked some Delta 8 before the live, and you could tell by the way she was talking like she was under the influence of something, and everybody clocked it right away that something was up. So she confessed, yeah, I did smoke some Delta 8. So she was doing her live, and Aunt Tammy contacted her. And Amberlynn Reid thought it'd be a good idea to put Aunt Tammy on speakerphone so she can go back and forth with Tammy. I'm going to confess something to y'all. Like, I'm 54 years old, and the way I was brought up in a family where I was taught that family business stays in the family. Like, I'm old school. Like, family stuff stays within the family. You don't go outside the family and air out your stuff on a front street. You just don't do that. But maybe Amber and Tammy take a different road. Maybe they want to do things differently. Or maybe Aunt Tammy is just tired of Amber and just deciding to air her out. Well, whatever the case may be, Amber thought it'd be a good idea to put Aunt Tammy on speakerphone. And as you can imagine, Amber, in her YouTuber brain, I think she purposely took the phone call on live because she wanted everyone to feel sorry for her, paint herself more the victim, trying desperately to act like a victim. Amber, you could have said no to the phone call. You could have said no, thank you. But you are milking this drama for all it's worth. How much money have you made so far on this drama? I'm sure it's quite a bit. And maybe that's what motivated you to take the phone call was you're like, I can put this on live in front of people and there's going to be a lot of people watching and I can make a lot of money. Well, Aunt Tammy roasted you. She cleaned your clock, girl. She really did. She really, really did. Aunt Tammy had a lot to say. And surprisingly enough, Amber didn't say that much. Maybe it's because she's a narc and narcs like to prepare for situations, and yet she created a situation where everything's going to happen spontaneously and unexpectedly, and there's no time to prepare. Whatever the case was, the phone call happened, the drama happened, and I'm here to give my thoughts to it. So how about we just jump into it? I've got some stuff on Twitter I'd like to show you because Girl World was sounding off about it a little bit. So it's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. Let's just get started with that. Oh, let me just make sure I am where I need to be. Yes, I am. Just making sure. Just making sure. I don't want to be in the wrong place. Okay, so for those of you that are on Twitter and you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you that you really don't care for Twitter, that's why I do the peeps. That way you guys can see what's going on without actually having to be there. So let's see. I got all kinds of tweets here. Spicy with Spices says, I don't feel bad for Amber, not even a little bit. She could have just not answered the call, but here we are. Right. She could have just said, nope, I'm not doing this on live. Bad idea. I don't know what's going to be said. I don't know how far we're going to go. I don't know how vicious this is going to get. Maybe not take the phone call, but Amber wanted to be the victim. She wanted to paint herself more as the victim. So she took the call, not knowing what Aunt Tammy was going to say, but she had to know the things that Aunt Tammy was going to say were not going to be nice to her. Sock Puppet says, Amberlynn Reid aunt is giving 100%, giving her the tough love she needs that no one else has ever given to her. Auntie putting her boundaries down. Either realize you are the problem and get help, or you don't get to have a family. Should have happened long ago. Maybe she will finally learn. I don't think so, soft puppet. I don't think Amber will wake up one day and learn. I think she's too far gone for that. And if there was any getting through to Amber, I don't think it's going to happen on a live. I don't think the epiphany is going to happen during a live stream, because while Amber has her camera turned on and she's in front of the camera, she's got that barrier, that wall, that block, her YouTube persona, and she's got that shield where nothing is going to get through. Maybe if the camera was turned off, maybe, very, very big maybe here, maybe something might happen. But if she's in front of a camera, she's all in her YouTube persona and nothing is going to get through. Florida Salt and Sass says, Amberlynn Reid brings up her BPD. Aunt Tammy, so why don't you get help? Right. Amber blames everything on BPD. Everything she does wrong, every mistake, every bad word, every bad action. It's all BPD's fault. It's never her. It's never something that relates to her. It's like, oh, I have this thing going on, so it's this thing's fault. And yet she won't seek help for it. And yet she won't seek proper therapy. And I think it's because she wants to continue blaming BPD for everything. She doesn't want to be healed. Creatix ZBD says, Amberlynn Reid thinking this is how people act when they are disassociating. So this is a clip from the live. Let's
always been forced to be, you need to, you wanted it. And I was the in-between person helping you. Without me, you would not be in your mom's life today. Without me, my sister would not be in my mom's life today. I have always been forced to be the in-between person. Correct?
Looking at Amber's face, I can already tell she's tuned her out. Amberlynn is tuning her out. Every word that Aunt Tammy is saying, she just turned the off switch, and she's like, I'm not even listening to you right now. I'm letting you speak for the sake of doing a live stream and getting some content and getting those views and getting the super chats and making the money. I'm going to let you talk. For money's sake, I'm going to let you talk, but I'm not really listening to what you have to say. That's the energy that Amber is giving me right now. Kelly says, Amberlynn Reid effed up and showing her massive McDonald's order and didn't even know what to say. So, yeah, let's go back to that.
Shit.
Oh.
Shit.
There's the order. So, not really good for your health, Amber. Not good. But you already know that. I'm not telling you anything new. You've got massive health problems. You're gaining a bunch of weight, and this is why. You're making the choice. You make a lot of money, but this is what you spend it on. Health is wealth, and you don't have much wealth in that respect, but do what you will, ma'am. Do what you will. Ray's Dactylion says Amberlynn has no idea how a job works. Her mother's job may be fine with her taking off work to run Amber's errands for her, but that doesn't mean she's getting paid for those hours. She is indeed losing money to be your gopher, Amber. Yeah, so during the live, like the whole back and forth between Aunt Tammy and Amber was basically telling Aunt Tammy, no, my mom doesn't lose money when she's running me around to do errands. How is that possible, Amber? How is it possible that while your mother is working, she's still on the clock, that she's not losing money? I'm sure whoever her boss is not looking at your mom and saying, you know, I understand you have to go run around for your daughter, so we'll continue to pay you per hour as normal, like you're still here. I'm sure she is losing money that way. But of course, because your mom is your mom, she's not going to bring that up to you. She's not going to say, Amber, I'm losing money because you're treating me like an Uber. You're using me as an Uber when you yourself can go get an Uber. You can call an Uber and go somewhere. You don't necessarily need me. It'd be different if your mom were off the clock and you wanted to go run an errand because she's off the clock. But if she's still on the clock and she's not at her job, she's losing money. How many times a week do you call on her to do errands, Amber? Don't be selfish. Go get an Uber. That's what they're there for. All right, what else we got here? Anything? Anything? I think that's it. That's okay because I'm going to pull up the video courtesy of the channel Apathetic FAXX because the phone call didn't happen until about 40 minutes or so into the live stream. So like maybe near the halfway point of the live stream, that's when Aunt Tammy called in and they were going back and forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Let me just go ahead and bring up the video by Apathetic FAXX, and I will leave a link for Apathetic FAXX original video down below in the description. So let's get started, y'all. Y'all gonna see like this whole thing is nuts.
But you are obese.
Hello? Is anyone home?
Hey girls, welcome back. So we last left off with Amber inviting her Aunt Tammy onto her channel for a sort of interview with.
Okay, and this part right here, I want to stop it here because this happened previously. So the top message is Amber. The blue one is Aunt Tammy. Amber says, what you're doing is vile, but you know that already. I will have a call with you on my live stream. I am confident in my truth and what I have to say. Aunt Tammy says, ready when you are. I have nothing but truth and facts. So this was discussed previously. Aunt Tammy calling in and basically confronting Amber.
With her, instead of reaction channels.
Maybe me and Amber need to get on a live and compare receipts and stories and see how that goes.
Let's do it. Get the fuck on my live, Tammy. Get the fuck on my live. We can do this. Square up.
And you know what? You know why I think that Amberlynn wanted to have Aunt Tammy on her live stream? Is all money motivated. This is not a case of, you're my aunt, I want to talk to you, and I want you to talk to me, and I want us to learn and listen to each other. No, it was about money. Old Lordy it's Shorty had Tammy call in to his live stream, and a lot of people were very interested in what was going on over there. So Amberlynn and her little YouTuber brain was like, wait a minute, like, I want to bring my aunt over to my channel and make money. That's why she's so like, yeah, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like she's thinking about super chats and Google AdSense and all that stuff. That's why she wanted to do it on her channel.
I'm ready for it. Oh, I'll talk to her. I'll talk to her real good. I am ready for it.
Looking at this now, this is like a previous live stream. She's like, I'm ready for it. I'll talk to her good. And yet during the live stream, Amber really didn't talk much at all. Not as much as Aunt Tammy did. So where was all this energy last night, Amber? You were acting all big and bad. Where was this energy last night? It kind of went away.
I'm happy to be the medium here, but
You're not going to be the medium, love. She's coming to my live.
See? See? She's like, I don't want a middleman. I don't want a reaction channel to make that money. I want to make that money. Like, I want that content. I want people to come to my channel. I want that money in my pocket.
Tammy then went to her community tab to prove that she happily agreed to square up with Amber. But when the time came, Amber was nowhere to be seen. 5 minutes after the live was supposed to start, Amber left this message on her community tab.
Oh, she chickened out. Aunt Tammy's like, square up. And then Amberlynn Reid ran. Can't go live. See you later. Of course, see you later.
Can't go live, see you later, which made people start to question, did Aunt Tammy back out? Or did Amber get scared and she was the one to back out? Just after Amber posted that to her community tab, Aunt Tammy starts posting to hers, all night and weekend long. Basically, it seems the thing Aunt Tammy is the most upset about, at least in these community posts, is Amber allegedly not returning her texts or only texting when she wants something. She tries to provide receipts, but I'll be honest, these screenshots she provided don't show us much. But Tammy does try to explain it later in this video. But she's also been watching reaction channels, and it seems she's overwhelmed by the amount of content showing who her niece truly is. In the meantime, Amber's back on TikTok, Thor's trapping it up for either a new wiper or for Emily.
The girls never learn, do they? They jump from one person to the next person. So Amberlynn is supposed to be heartbroken over Emily, yet she's already looking for another girlfriend / caretaker, because whoever the girl is that enters Amber's life is going to end up being her caretaker. Amberlynn's not looking for a girlfriend. She's looking for someone that will love on her, worship her, run her errands, take care of her pets, clean her house, do her errands, bathe her, wash her hair, all unpaid. She's looking for someone that will do all those jobs basically for dirt cheap. So she's not wanting a girlfriend. She wants someone to do a myriad of jobs 24/7, wait on her hand and foot, even though she's got the power to do those things herself.
I haven't turned on just members yet, and someone just said, "Hey, Chubby." Oh my God, Corky. I know what your name is. Like, I'm not dumb, but do you like how I call you Corky? Like, the silly little nickname. I mean, your name.
Look at her eyes. She is, Amberlynn, I don't know how much Delta 8 you smoked or consumed, but it's so obvious, girl. Like, you could barely keep your eyes open.
Your username does say Corky Love, but like, loving the plum color, thank you.
And you know what? This is off topic, but I still don't understand why Quirky Love Rose is all in her chat. I don't get it. I don't understand why Quirky is insisting on hanging on to Amberlynn. I don't know why anybody would. Quirky, you have no business over there, girl. It's not going to be beneficial to you. Amberlynn is not going to prop you up. She's not going to boost your channel. Your subs are not going to increase associating with Amber. You know that, right? Like, you guys, in some ways you're similar, but other ways you're different. You have a channel where you're not really doing the drama, and Amberlynn is all about the drama. So why associate with her? I don't get it, girl. I don't. Like, you're wanting to be friends with her so bad, but she is not your friend. But do what you want to do. Okay? Do what you want to do. I don't get, if you're thinking there's going to be some kind of benefit hanging out with Amber, there isn't. There really, really isn't.
Oh. I don't know what that was. First time live watcher, how was your week? My week's been really good, and thank you for the super chat. Not the boob shimmy on Maine. What does that mean? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna wear. Remember when I said the sympathy bone comment, and I was wearing my solely costume? Listen, I was gonna wear that because I ain't got my sympathy bone today. Okay, your mama has like disappeared because he's over on like the lol cow bullshit. So he's barely on his Yo Mama channel, and he went there today, right? And he talked about the narc alert, and I'm telling you, I knew none of this. My jaw is on the floor type deal. Anna says Tammy coming on soon. So I don't know what that's talking about. Are you in
Oh, and this is someone in her chat calling her out for being under the influence. Balloonatic Fanatic says, "Are you intoxicated right now? You're slurring your words, eyes rolling around and acting strange, girl."
Intoxicated right now, you're slurring your words, eyes rolling and acting strange. Um, I soaked some Delta, not gonna lie about it. I want to say when people like were seeing how I was reacting to my aunt, like that's frustrating for me to hear like this is the real Amberlynn because it's like, bro, what you're seeing is me split. It's called splitting. When you literally turn into someone that you're not. Like you're so hurt by someone, like when you have BPD, you're so fucking hurt by someone.
I don't have BPD. But one thing I know, you can't blame everything on BPD. You just can't. And I don't like how she's blaming everything on BPD. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who have BPD that don't act like Amber and don't use it as an excuse. So, Amber, you are self aware of the fact that you have BPD, or at least that's what you claim, but yet you're not healing it, but yet you're not getting therapy. You're not interested in managing it to where you can feel better and act better and talk better to people. Stop using BPD as a get out of jail free card. Like it's everything is wrong. It's fault. Like it's strictly BPD is the villain here. It's not. It's you.
That you genuinely, you're so overwhelmed with emotion, like you cannot regulate those. So that is what you're witnessing. So it's hard because 99% of the time you guys are witnessing me as like pretty chill, just chilling. And I only ever come out as a bitch or come out angry is when it's demonstrated to me first, if that makes sense. That doesn't mean, oh, we saw Amberlynn's true colors or this is the real Amberlynn. Like it's not fair. And what my aunt was doing was not only triggering and wrong and hurtful, like it shattered me.
This comment, Ando says, take a shot every time she blames BPD. Don't do that. You'll end up drunk within 5 minutes.
And I could not regulate those emotions in the whole span of the time that I've known her since 17.
This comment, KBK says, you have not been diagnosed with BPD by a professional. There's no doubt in my mind. Get actual help. Yeah, has there been an actual diagnosis for BPD, or she just diagnosed herself? She just went online, looked through Dr. Google and said, oh, all this stuff is happening with me. It sounds like BPD, so this must be something going on with me. What if you're wrong, though, Amber? What if it's something entirely different? And if you got treated for that something entirely different, you'd feel different, you'd feel better, you'd act better. You're not interested in exploring what are the problems here? What do I need therapy for? What can I get help with? How can I make this manageable to where it doesn't get out of control and become a problem for myself and other people?
That she was always the person that like indicated like a break in our chat. And a lot of people like go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy, while like literally sucking the tit on my aunt. Ew, that woman needs to go to therapy, not me. My aunt literally just tried calling me.
And this is the part, Amber, when you could have said to yourself, you know, I'm sitting here chilling. I'm in my chat with my people. I just smoked a little bit. This is not the time to have that kind of discussion. Like I got pink fluffy cloud brain right now. This is not the time. But you were in your YouTuber brain, your content brain, and you thought to yourself, ooh, she's calling in. The audience is going to be interested and they'll give me more money because everybody's invested in this whole thing. That's why you took the call. It was strictly money motivated. It wasn't about she's calling in and she wants to talk to me and we can hash this thing out and squash it. No. You're like, content, cha-ching, money, cha-ching.
Hello? Holy fuck. I messaged her and I said, stop calling me. Like, it's ruining my live stream.
Well, at the same time, Amber, you have a live stream going. You've got people in front of you, a lot of people. So what are you doing multitasking over there, looking at a computer screen or a phone screen, taking your attention off your chat? What are you doing that for? That is so rude. You should be paying attention to just your chat. At the same time, you got a chat going. You're treating your chat like a side issue. Like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm looking at the screen over here. I'm like doing stuff. Had you just paid attention to your chat, you wouldn't have gotten the message now, would you?
Hello?
Hello?
I don't even know if I'll be able to hear her.
Okay, I hear myself through your audio, so can you like pause me?
Yeah, I just did.
So you're clearly watching my live stream and I said I don't feel like doing this anymore, so why are you
You say you don't feel like doing it anymore, but yet you're doing it. You chose to do it. Choices, Amber, choices. You made the choice to do it. You did. You didn't. You could have said no. You didn't.
calling?
Because you can't run my name and multiple family members in the dirt for decades and think you're just going to walk away that easy. I'm finally done. I'm finally ready. I got the receipts. I got the proof. I'm not afraid of you, Amber, unlike all your other victims. I thought I had seen and heard everything that you've done over these years, but I was so blind by your manipulation. And when I seen half of the videos that I've seen.
Look at her. So here's your aunt on the phone, upset, ready to roast her. Look at that face. She thinks it's funny. Look at her smirking. Didn't she say a minute ago she was so done? I'm so done with this. I'm so ready for this to be over. Does that look like the face of somebody who's done? Or the face of somebody that wants it to continue for the sake of money?
With documented proof of how you treat people, not only in our family, but people in general. You are one vile, disgusting human being, and I want nothing to do with you ever again, including your mother. Your mother, your whole family, your whole Reid family is nothing but vile, disgusting degenerates that rape, manipulate, and abuse. Physically, mentally, spiritually, you name it, you guys do it, and you do it proud. But I see it so clear now that I don't want nothing to do with you. But do you think you're going to continue to lie about me and the family members that I do care about and get away with it? No, you're not. I will continue to tell the truth. The difference between me and you is I have the truth to tell, and I have the receipts to back it up. So you want to know why I'm listening to your live right now? The reason is just to see what bullshit you're going to say next. And sure enough, it didn't take long. You try to say that you cut off talking to me. I've been looking over texts for the last days, and I have so much proof, time and time again, where you're begging me to talk to you again, where I blocked you. I quit watching your videos. You kept begging me, please watch, please watch. I don't want to lose you, Auntie. All the lies you told me that I caught you on, called you on, you'd apologize, and then do it again and again and again and again.
So I reacted to Neo Tarot's reading on Amber, and I said before the react began, I think I was like, just the feeling that I'm getting from Aunt Tammy is she tried every way in the world to reach Amber. Amber is an extreme person and very much caught up in her ego. Like she's got that ego bubble just floating around her, and it's so hard to break through that. I believe she cared about Amber a lot. And I'm hearing a lot of hurt in her voice. A lot of hurt. I'm hearing the voice of a woman who is fed up. They're fed up to hear with everything, and they're letting it all out. Letting it all out. And Amber, didn't you say that you were going to talk to your aunt? Remember, you said, I'm going to talk to her. Like, I'll talk to her good. Why ain't she talking?
What do you want to respond to that?
What did I do in the last 2 years to you?
In the last 2 years. Okay, let me see if I can explain this. It's not an easy black or white answer or an answer that you can get in 2 seconds because, like I keep saying, I've been doing this your whole entire life. You have a person that has fought to be in your life your whole entire life in one way or the other, no matter if you've seen it or not. And you didn't meet me at 17. You met me when you were 14.
Fact check. So she lied. Amber tried to say, oh, I met her when I was 17. But the aunt is saying, no, it was 14. I bet Amber is hating all of this because she thought that she could just get on her channel and talk all kinds of mad trash about her family, and the family would not find out, or if they did, they could not respond. And here is a family member responding to some of the lies, which is kind of messing Amber up because, like, she'll talk about anybody and do anything for content. But Aunt Tammy being around to fact check her on some of the things that she's saying, just, it's messing up her deal. She's like, I can't get on my channel and lie about the family anymore. I can't tell all these fantastic stories because here's a family member ready to fact check my ass.
I went to California for the first time after 16 years. Remember you getting the pot of spaghetti out of the refrigerator and using the really huge utensil, taking big scoops out of the pot onto your plate where your dad said, I think that's enough, Amber. That's my first.
So JB says, you look fully disassociated. So you have to have an actual conversation with her. Not saying anything doesn't make it any better. Nope. Maybe a live person-to-person conversation would have worked. But to do it on live stream, it's not going to reach through to her. It's not. Because right now she's in the persona. She is not the person.
Memory of you, and you still continue to pile on your plate. Yeah, that story goes around our family year after year after year. From then, I tried getting you through the foster care because you painted.
I'm not exactly sure why Aunt Tammy was talking about the spaghetti story, like what it has to do with anything, but it's what she wanted to talk about.
Story, it was so bad, and then you even put me down for it that time. Your mom came in the picture, destroyed that. So then you went on to my mom's house. We all know what happened with that. You got kicked out for what? Being disrespectful. Surprise, right? So then you go on to Casey, and then Crystal, and then Destiny, and then Becky. The whole time I'm in the background, loving you, supporting you, sharing every bit of my diet with you, exercise, financial, and yes, I have all the proof. And then we get up to the current last 2 years. Who is the happiest person in this world?
Okay, Amber's doing something. I just want to point this out. Notice as Aunt Tammy is talking about, like, all the people that Amber has been involved with, like just naming them all off. Amber's doing the side-by-side rocking thing. That's like a coping mechanism. And I honestly think at this point, like, she's not faking it. Like, she is just worried. Like, she wanted to do this. She chose to do this. She chose to take the call from Aunt Tammy and do this on her live stream. She was very much for that before. But I think this is the point where she realizes, you know what, this is a really bad idea because I can't control the narrative. And that's something that I'm not used to. Dealing with people in a situation where I can't control the narrative. I can't control what they say. I can't prepare for what they're about to say. So she's rocking side to side because she's straight up nervous about it.
For Amber to move to Oklahoma City, it was me, your aunt. Your mom didn't want you to come. She was very nervous about you coming because of the destruction and stress level that you bring with your just presence. I, against my whole entire family, would say things like, I know you guys are worried, but I'm so excited. We have texts showing that excitement for when you're going to get here. We're going to hang out. We can't wait. I wanted to diet with you. I wanted to exercise with you.
So somebody just sent that super chat saying Amber finally humbled. I don't think so. I don't think this humbled her. Not at all. She's too much of a narc. She's too egotistical. This did not humble her at all.
I was so excited because, as you love to point out, I was very successful on keto. You get here, I see you one time. I try to see you, and I'm told I can only see you with your mother. I question you about it. You say, oh, I was just nervous. I haven't seen my family in 14 years and blah, blah, blah. Then you didn't reach out to me after that ever. Not once to come over, pick you up, go do anything. November, you reach out to me because you want something, a vape. December, you reach out to me. You want something, a vape. You checked in when I had COVID. You said Merry Christmas. I had COVID. I answered you the very next day. Then nothing in January. And then you send me a picture in February. So you want to know why I'm mad? Because I fought for you for freaking years. And then when you finally get here, I'm left. You and sister are going to museums and here and there, and I'm told I can't see you without my sister. You're here now, and you still have nothing to do with me. So you want to bring up me and your mom's fight, right, as the reason. No, you are the reason we don't talk. You are in your 30s. You can use a phone. You can make arrangements to spend time with your aunt, and you chose not to because me and your mom were in a disagreement. Any other questions?
You know, I think if you could take anything away from this live stream that happened between Amberlynn and her aunt, I think the only thing you can take away from it is there's definitely a pattern of behavior with Amber. There are definite patterns of behavior with Amber. Like how she acts today is how she was acting years ago. She's got patterns of how she treats people, everybody around her. It doesn't matter if it's a friend, a girlfriend, a family member. She treats everybody the same. Badly. Very, very badly. I think of all the live stream, like that's one of the key things you can take away from this, that Amber she's entitled. She feels entitled to everybody's life, everybody's time. Like your time is not yours. Your time belongs to her. If she needs something, if she needs to go somewhere, everybody's at her disposal. She's a narc. And narcs don't love people. They need people. When they need you, they love you. They'll be your best friend. They'll make those phone calls. They'll send those emails. They'll hang out with you. But the moment that they don't need you, they're nowhere to be found. They'll ghost you. That's Amber to a T.
Well, yeah, it is true. I was feeling anxious to see my family again. It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do. It felt easier for me to be around family that I have not seen in 14 years if my mom was there. That was an anxiety thing. It was a coping thing. It is what it is. So I'm sorry.
So whose fault is it, Amber? Is it your fault or is it my fault that we haven't seen each other? Because the narrative that you're telling is different.
So
put it out there. Whose fault is it, Amber?
Yours.
Yours.
No.
And after Thanksgiving,
You know what though? Wait a minute. It takes two to tango. So Amber, of course, you're going to point a finger and say it's your fault, Aunt Tammy. But the last time I checked, there are two grown women here. There's Aunt Tammy, and then there's yourself. So you're a grown woman, Amber, or you're supposed to be. Is there anything stopping you from seeing your aunt? I did hear the two of you live 15 minutes away from each other, or even if that's not true, girl, you make money. You can't take a plane ride. You can't get on a train. You can't get an Uber to go see your aunt. You can't go over to her house and have a conversation. I mean, don't sit there and make excuses. Or is your thinking that everybody has to come to you? You don't have to go to them. They have to come to you. Is that what's going on here? Like, you didn't come see me. You should have reached out to me. It's all you should have, rather than I should have. It's always I with Amber until it comes to things that really she should be doing, that she could have done. Then she'll point a finger at somebody and say, you could have done it.
Heard that my sister talked a whole bunch of shit about Thanksgiving over at my house. Once again, opening up my home to you guys. And at the end of the day, when I thought it was a wonderful day as well, guess what I got to hear? How y'all talk shit. I don't even know what the shit was. It was supposed to be so vile that it couldn't even be repeated.
I didn't say anything bad about the time at your home. And then, like, I wasn't invited to anything Christmas related, which honestly hurt a lot.
Yeah, Wilson says, what happened to squaring up? Something about the girls. Notice that Foodie Beauty does this too. She talks all kinds of tough behind a monitor, behind her camera phone. But best believe if somebody were face to face with Foodie, she'd be a complete coward. Seems like Amber's got the same trait. She's talking all kinds of tough, but here she is on the phone with Tammy. Tammy's not even physically in front of her. Where'd all your courage go, Amber?
I literally bawled my eyes out.
Okay,
So,
again, I don't want to interrupt you, but when there's no contact from October, November, into December, with the exception of wanting a vape, why would I invite you and my sister to Christmas?
in December, I talked to you 3 times. One of
What
them,
3 times, Amber?
One of them did involve a vape. The other 2 times was to check in on you regarding your health. And every time we did communicate was because of me.
It's absolutely not, and I have the receipts to prove that. Unless you're talking about only between October
That
and
is correct.
February.
That is
when
correct.
When you got here and I see the true colors, that I was never going to be your person in any way, shape, or form. I heard through my mom how you'd cry and boo-hoo and at her house going, well, I don't understand why I can't talk to my aunt.
That is correct.
And what were you told? Were you told you couldn't talk to me?
I would cry because I
Were
did.
you told you couldn't talk to me? Did anyone say, Amber, don't talk to your aunt. Don't call her. Don't text her.
So, sorry, I was reading the chat because it's distracting me.
And that's the moment that you know that she was disassociating. She's not taking the conversation with her aunt seriously. She's not fully paying attention. And she's not going to fully pay attention because she's got a live going. So her attention is going to be divided between, listening to this phone call and watching the chat and reading what people saying. That's why it does no good to talk to somebody like Amber, especially when she's on live. She's not going to give 100% of her attention. She's not going to care.
I read between the lines.
Did anyone tell you at that point when you were boo-hooing several times about not talking to me, did my mom or my sister tell you you can't talk to me?
So I wasn't boo-hooing. I was.
Yeah, you were.
Can you not mock me, please? I was hurt by the situation because I was slowly reading between the lines. You would never text me first. I mean, that's how I'm feeling because
you truly are a piece of work. I tell you what, your manipulation is just like it used to work. It used to work. It used to catch me. It used to slow me down and give you the benefit of the doubt. But I just see it too clearly now, and I don't even know if I want to entertain you anymore.
Notice that Aunt Tammy asked her 3 times, did anybody in the family tell you not to talk to me? And she's not answering that question. She won't say yes and she won't say no. It's a very simple question. Yet Amber is sidestepping all the way around it. For some reason, she doesn't want to say yes or no.
Because you can't own anything. I mean, we're talking decades of text here. I'll watch a video and something will be brought up and I'll be like, what the heck? All I have to do is go to my messages and put in simple words. And then our conversations come up word for word. You have abused me, Amber. You have manipulated me, Amber, for a long time because of the love I had for my sister and for you. And you used that and you manipulated me to be the person when I would never be your person. But you led me to believe that for a long time. We can talk about all the different topics, being your mom in prison, you writing her, all that. That's long text threads of the bullshit you came up with for that. You know, did you owe your mom anything? No, but you said you wanted it. The text started with you asking, not me going, you need to. You wanted it. And I was the in-between person helping you. Without me, you would not be in your mom's life today. Without me, my sister would not be in my mom's life today. I have always been forced to be the in-between person, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Holy shit.
I know I've
What
made.
about your uncle and me? How about that for a family drama, huh? And then you go on and be a victim to others? Like, that's just weird to me. When it's such a hot spot in our family, and you put that word around like it's light as hell, right? You use the wrong word, right? When you accuse somebody, an innocent person who at the time was young as you accuse them of something that they did not do. Thank God he had a voice to speak up. But tell me why, when we just went to California, your mom had to go see your dad, had to go see him in person. I refused. She left me in a car so she could go in and see your dad, the man that is behind so much of this, including my chapters. The man I just...
Yeah, like I was listening to this and I'm like, this is a lot. This is all like family stuff. And remember what I said in the beginning of this react? I'm like this, like I said, I was raised different. I was raised that if there's family stuff going on, you keep it in the family. But Amber and Tammy, because it takes two to tango. They are both making the decision to air all of this stuff out on the internet, on YouTube. They are making this decision. They want people to be involved. They want people to know. They want people to hear it. They want to have an audience. Amber could have cut off this phone call at any time. But notice that she isn't. You see how long this video is? For almost 40 minutes. Amber let this go on for 40 minutes. She could have stopped at any time she wanted to. She could have said to her aunt, you know what, this is really personal stuff. I don't think people should hear this. I don't think they need to know, and stop this. But she kept it going because she wanted to paint herself a victim. She wants to be victim Lynn.
Buys more than anything on the face of this earth. And your mom, in sobriety, in recovery, chose to go see that man eye to eye. You don't think that hurt me? So you're not the only one with damage, Amber. The difference is I don't let it be an excuse. All while trying to help you and your mom for decades.
And that's something that Amber needs to learn. That if you're someone you've been through trauma, maybe you got issues, maybe you got some disorders, maybe you got a past, you can choose to heal yourself. You can choose to seek help. You can choose to go to therapy. You can choose to take medication if you need it. You can choose to live your life and not be a bunch of broken pieces in a human suit. You can say, yeah, I've taken on damage. I've got my scars, but I am not my scars. I will not let my scars define me. I define myself. My past is my past. Things happened in my past. Past is a street that I don't live on anymore. I used to live there, but I don't live there anymore. And I don't even think it's appropriate to go back and visit because it's too painful. Amber lives in the past. She lives in that neighborhood and she doesn't want to move out. And she wants to use the fact that she lives there as an excuse for acting badly, and oh, everybody just forgive me, I'm living on past street, and I don't want to move on, I don't want to move forward, I don't want to pack up my past in boxes and put it away and clear the space for the future to come in and do something. No. She lives in the past all the time. She doesn't want to grow up. She doesn't want to mature. She doesn't want to heal. And that is what the aunt is trying to tell her. Look, a lot of people have scars. A lot of people have been through stuff. But we don't use it as an excuse to act badly and to hurt people. We move on. We take the wounds. We have our scars. The scars fade. We keep it moving.
And you know what happened during that time when I was so focused on you and your mom and your fucked up family? It made me sick. Because you can't focus this long and this hard on other people and not have it take away from your life. You have, your dad has, your mom has, and you all play fucking victim. And I'm done. Anything else you want to talk about?
I wasn't a great girlfriend.
No.
But that's an understatement. I wasn't a great girlfriend. That's the understatement of the year. Don't y'all agree? That is the understatement of the year. Finding women to make into your girlfriends and then treating them like servants, unpaid servants. You weren't looking for girlfriends. You were looking for caretakers, maids, pet carers, cooks, house cleaners. You put your girlfriends to work.
I probably wasn't a great niece. I wasn't a great anything. Like, I was broken. I try very hard to take accountability where I can, and I expect.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't take accountability where you can. You only take accountability when you're called out and when you've been caught and you're in a corner and you can't get out. Then you're forced to have accountability. But it's not accountability from within. It's because you get confronted with the truth and there's no way out of that corner. Because if you take a true accountability, that means you learn from your mistakes. You would have regret and remorse for hurting people. You don't have regret and remorse for hurting people, Amber. I don't think you feel remorse and regret for hurting people. You are emotionless that way. You're selfish that way.
Especially when Beck was saying all those things, like, I admitted to things that I would never want to admit to out loud. Are you kidding?
Yeah, and you only admitted to them after Beck came forward. And why did Beck come forward? Because you wouldn't shut up about Beck. The two of you were broke up. You could have shut your mouth, but you didn't. And Beck just got sick of that. And then Beck started making videos. And then you couldn't run from the truth.
Everything I said about Casey is 100% true.
I wish I could believe you, but I can't based on everything.
I can't. I genuinely
don't believe you.
I genuinely.
That hurts to say it.
I don't care if you believe me or not.
Of course not.
But
the last thing I'd ever want to do is go against somebody who was actually assaulted. But all I'm saying is, based on the person I know you are, I cannot believe it 100%. If it did happen to you, I'm sorry it happened to you. If it didn't happen to you, karma's a bitch.
You're not sorry?
Who was Aunt Tammy at this time when Amberlynn Reid came into this world? Her first and only niece. Let's see. Tammy lived in the Florida Keys. She had her first daughter at 16 and 88. She had her second daughter at 17 and 89. And in 1990, her sister came from California to Florida to get off drugs. Did for a little bit, got pregnant. I was in the delivery room with your mom giving birth to you, literally. Joke about that today. And then
Tammy was going into a lot of like personal family history and stuff. It's like I'm not quite sure how some of the stuff that she was saying had to do with her being mad at Amberlynn, but it's what Aunt Tammy wanted to talk about.
And shortly after that, you were a few months old, and your mom chose drugs again and left Florida Keys, went to California, and that's where the story continued of our separation. But I never gave up. I found you on MySpace. Remember, after all those years, I came and seen you when you were 14. your foster care people or whatever state custody people contacted me. I didn't have a pot to piss in. I was getting ready to be disabled from all my trauma.
I don't remember you coming to visit when I was 14.
You don't remember no part of your dad saying, Amber, that's enough, and you still putting more scoops on your plate?
No,
You're
I do
sitting
not.
at the kitchen table in the trailer. I remember it.
There needs to be some nuance, and I had undiagnosed borderline personality disorder due to all the trauma of my childhood.
Is it still undiagnosed? Was there ever a diagnosis on this woman? Or did she diagnose herself? I have to know. And you guys know I'm not a regular watcher of her. I don't know all of her lore. I know much more about Foodie than her. But she's blaming everything on BPD, and she should not be doing that.
It makes sense that I was absolutely...
You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she was undiagnosed or she is diagnosed, because even if she was diagnosed by somebody, she doesn't care to fix the problem or manage the problem properly. It's just an excuse and a scapegoat for everything that she does wrong. Oh, I acted this way because of this, and this. It was not me. It was never me. It was because of something that's wrong with me that I have left unchecked.
Unwell, and still to this day I am, and I thank God for maturity and for aging, because I...
What? Thank God for maturity. Maturity where? Maturity how? What? Mature doesn't know you, isn't taking your phone calls, never heard of you before, blocks your number. Maturity is not associated with you. You are not a mature person, Amber. You're very immature.
I feel like that's the only reason why I have come as far as I have.
I will admit Kiwi Farms was not the nicest thing for an aunt to do. But again, it's when you push me to the end. When I've had enough, I've tried and got slapped around by you, by your lies, by your manipulation. I have it in text. So it's not just hearsay. It's stuff that I can say, Amber, this is what I said, this is what you said. And it's not just in your 20s. Like you say, you're in your 30s now, right? I don't know anything about a lot of your last relationships for a reason, right? Otherwise, I'd have a lot to say.
I'm glad you don't know anything about Feline, because
I would have told it, you're right.
Because I don't want her to air it out. Because it just seems
but
like...
Did you not say you had a lot to tell us about her the whole time coming here? And
yeah.
Then when you got here, you said nothing? Yeah.
Common Sense GW says, Amber knows Tammy is right. That's why she's rocking like that. Yeah. Because she doesn't know what to say. She chose to do this, and now that it's done, she's in the middle of the live stream talking to Tammy. She can't control what comes out of Tammy's mouth, and she can't tell her to shut up. She's rocking back and forth trying to cope with it. Narcs do not know what to do when they are confronted with the truth. And they're in front of somebody that knows a lot about them and has the receipts to back it up. So she was going to talk to Tammy real good, huh? She's not doing much talking. Not really.
Because
That's part of the games that you play. You act like you have a great relationship with my sister today, and that's a lie. You talk horribly to my sister.
T. So I love my mom, right, Amber? Sounds like you treat mom like crap.
Treat her like shit. You make her your taxi, your Uber, your this, your that. I hear it all, Amber.
Patterns. Patterns matter. So earlier, Aunt Tammy told us that the only reason why Amber reached out to her was to get her a vape. And here's Amber. Aunt Tammy is saying that Amber treats mom like an Uber to take her around, do errands. Y'all picking up these patterns here? This is crazy. Amber treats everybody, girlfriends, family, aunt, mom, everybody is just a servant, an employee to Amber. Take me places, anywhere I need to go. Notice what's not being said here. Notice that there's no mention of what Amber does for other people. It's what other people do for Amber. And that is the way of a narc. They take, but they don't give back. There's no mention of giving here. I mean, we're 20 minutes into the live stream. No mention of Amber giving anything to anybody or running errands for anybody. It's all about, hey, family, do things for me.
And you should realize that by now. I don't have to be in your physical presence to hear about what goes on in our family. And I think you can tell by what I say, I know what I'm saying, because you know it. You have treated my sister like so many times since you've been here. And you try to control her. And you make her take time off work to do the stupidest things that you could schedule when she's not at work. But because you only think of you, you do it over and over and over and over and over again.
What I'm hearing you say is that grandma is telling you.
Uh-oh. Common Sense GW says ALR is just looking at the view count. Right. Like I said, she could have cut this live off anytime. She could have cut off the phone call anytime. She lets us go on for a long time, and she keeps glancing at the computer like, how many people are in the room? How many people in the room? How many people are watching? How many super chats am I getting? She's very money motivated. She's not focusing on the conversation with the aunt and responding to her. The aunt is not getting 100% of her attention. She's thinking about the money. This is someone that cannot be talked to. This is not someone you can have a conversation with. This is not someone that you can have a conversation and there is communication and there is breakthrough. You can't break through to someone like Amber. She will tune you out real fast.
Things, and I think we can both admit she gets her stories completely wrong. I do not make my mom take off of work. She has taken off of work a couple times, and it was either for vet reasons for my animals, or it was for reasons where I had to go to the doctor, like because I had to go to get a test done or whatever it may be, and they weren't.
And excuse me, is there any reason why you couldn't take an Uber to go to the doctor? Is there any reason why you couldn't take an Uber to go take care of your pets? If your mom is actively working, she's on the clock, she's not off work, and you're calling her up and say, hey mom, I know you just got off work, can you take me to the store to go get some stuff? No, she's actively working, and you're calling her up to say, come get me now. Just because you don't have a regular job, Amber, other people do. And you got to respect them in their workplace. I'm actually shocked and surprised. I don't know what Mama Lynn does for a living, but I am shocked that whatever Mama Lynn does for a living, that the boss is actually cool with Mama Lynn taking off work during work hours to take you around. That's a very unusual job. Most bosses would say, no, wait till after work. You can't go and pick her up. You're working for me. So I'm really surprised that the boss was cool with this. I don't know what she does for a living, but that's crazy. But you have no respect for the fact that your mom was working and to leave her alone until at least she's off work. So if you need something during her work hours, get a flippin' Uber. Or hire an assistant to drive you around, to take care of your pets. Spend a little bit of that YouTube money, Amber. Take care of yourself.
Open. Like, I don't know what to say about that. Like, they weren't
I just hear
open.
excuses with that. Sorry, vets have Saturday services. Vets have after-hour services. My sister gets off at
May I finish
4 and
what I was
5,
saying?
So you could do that.
Bob Chaga says, Hamby acts like a victim then sells feeding vids. Yep.
She did take it off for that. You going to the doctor? Okay, that's not an excuse. You can make an appointment. You can take an Uber. I mean, you can do DoorDash. You can take an Uber to a doctor's appointment. My sister doesn't have to lose money to take you.
Well, she doesn't lose money.
Yes, she does. If she's working, she's on the clock, and you're saying, drop everything for me because I want to go somewhere, she's losing money, Amber. When you're asking your mom to take off work, to take you places while she's working, Are you taking money out of your own pocket to give to her in compensation for the money she's losing because she's at her job and you're taking her away from her job? No, I bet you're not. I bet you just feel obligated, right? You're entitled. It's my mom. She's supposed to take me around and do things. Ma'am, you're in your 30s. You should take care of yourself. She shouldn't have to take you around to places. You can figure it out.
Yes, she does.
She doesn't lose money for leaving a couple hours at work. Her job is very nice. Like,
Stop. Stop. She's not losing money even though she's leaving work for 2 hours. That's quite a bit of time to not be working. I don't know what the minimum wage is where Mama Lynn lives, or if she gets more than minimum wage. I'm not in her business like that. But if, say, minimum wage were like $18 an hour, $20 an hour, she's taking off 2 hours. That's like what, $40? She's losing $40 just for one errand run. How many times a week, how many times a month were you asking your mom to take off work to take you around? How much money is that's not going in her pocket because of you, Amber?
that, and when that
She's
happened,
taken more than a couple hours. She's taken days off for you. Anyway.
Entire days. That's a lot of money. Just taking a day off to run somebody around. That's at least 8 hours lost of work time. How much money is that, Amber? That's a lot. Again, are you compensating your mom for the hours that she's not working, for the gas that she's having to spend in the car to run your butt around?
she has not.
That's the least of our importance. But you don't treat my sister well, and I just want you to know that I'm very aware of it, and so is she.
My mom has never taken days off of work, and more than anything, she offers.
I guess it just depends who tells the story. But
It's sad because it makes me not even want to have a relationship with my grandma, because when I go
she
over
doesn't
to
want to have a relationship with you, so don't worry about that at all. That's why you don't go over to her house. When's the last time you went over besides the very last time? Besides that one, Amber, when's the last time you were over at my mom's?
2 weekends before that.
Yeah. I know you guys take pictures and you put it in your videos, so I pretty much know when you're there. And also, I was talking to my mom about 3 to 5 times every single day. So to think I don't hear what goes on, pretty obvious I do. You know my mom. You know how she is, right?
Yes, that I'm also like confused because
So like she'll tell you one thing, she'll tell my sister one thing, she'll tell me one thing. We all know this, but there's still the common. You don't get up till after 3, so my sister can't do this or that with my mom because Amber, she don't get up till after 3. She can't make any plans with my mom to go do her nails or bingo anymore because yes, do Amber. It's all about Amber.
Wow. That's interesting. So Aunt Tammy just said Amber sleeps until 3 p.m. And because of Amber, because of her sleep schedule, because Amber can't do anything for herself, it's affecting the rest of her family. They can't go anywhere. They can't do anything. They can't do things they like to do because of her. They have to plan their days around her just to be there for her. Although Amber could do for herself.
See my mom once a week. It is on Saturdays.
So you guys don't go to Friday bingo no more?
No, I do not. So I spend 24/7 alone, and I feel like it actually has made me grow. Like, no pun intended, not like that. But I'm actually taken aback right now because when I'm around her, we laugh like, oh my God, I can't even, like, it hurts our ribs. We laugh so much. That was
Are
like,
you going to tell me that you guys have never gotten an argument while you've been about the way that you talk to my sister?
On my birthday, we got into an argument. We did. But
you also got into it about having my sister give you your shots too, right? I
started crying, and my mom was like explaining how she's totally fine with it and stuff. And it started to make me feel guilty, where I was like, is my mom actually like just saying she's not triggered? But no, she's not triggered because she wants to take
You made her be like that, Amber. You made her feel like she can't tell you no because you keep bringing up the past. Now she owes you everything. So yeah, she's afraid to tell you no.
May I
She didn't want
finish?
to do that.
How can you sit there and like still hold me?
Okay, wait a minute. We're going to go back to that part for a minute. So what just happened right there? So Aunt Tammy is bringing up the fact that Amberlynn's mother has had issues in the past with substances. And yet, in a previous react, you guys heard that Amberlynn, knowing about her mom's substance issues, would have her mom take her to the liquor store. And now here we are again with mention of Amberlynn asking her mom to give her shots, which could be triggering to someone who's had substance issues. Like that Amberlynn has no respect for the fact that the mom has had substance issues in the past and being careful not to expose her to things that might trigger her in some way.
To some standard of who I was in my 20s or when we talked more.
Amber, listen, I am not a regular viewer of you. I can't stand you, girl. Your voice drives me nuts. I can't stand the way you talk. You talk like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old Valley girl. Girl, I grew up in the 80s when the Valley speak was everywhere, thanks to Moon Unit Zappa. Oh my God, got me with a spoon. Like, I grew up in that era when people were doing that because of Moon Unit Zappa. And I can't stand the Valley speak. Can't stand it. I have a hard time watching you because here you are in your 30s talking like that. Can't stand it. It's just, ugh. It is, ugh. But you haven't changed. Like anybody could go back to your old videos when you first got on YouTube, the way you were speaking, the way you were, and pull up another video, maybe this one. You haven't changed. You don't change. You do not evolve. You are not evolving to anything better. You are exactly the same. The only difference is, unfortunately, you've gotten bigger and more unhealthy. You started out your channel being a weight loss channel, and I don't know what the F happened along the way, but maybe you just decided, you know what? I'm making a lot of money on YouTube being a big girl, and I'm going to stick with it. And maybe somewhere in that, the feedies got a hold of you, sort of tempting you with the money, and your food addiction just went out of control, way out of control. It seems to me that the more subscribers you got over time and the more money you make over time, the more unhealthier you are. Isn't that incredibly sad? Isn't that something that the bigger your channel has gotten, the more money you make, the less you can enjoy life? Isn't it sad that you're making all this money on YouTube, yet you can't enjoy life because of your bad health? You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. You rely on people. You treat all your girlfriends like caretakers and maids and cooks and people who care for your pets to go walk your pets because you can't or you won't. Isn't that something? All the money you're making, and you're not happy. You get a very unhealthy life. You had a healthier life, you had a happier life when you were making less money. Sliding door moment. I wonder where you would be if you hadn't got monetized. I wonder where you would be if your channel hadn't grown the way it was. Would you be different? Would you be healthier? How much different you might have been if YouTube and money did not change you.
I've changed even
in the last year. Have you watched your videos, Amber? You are recycle, repeat.
Yep.
Like, there's nothing new about you right now.
Nope.
You are the same person you were yesterday, last week, last month, last year. Watch your videos. Watch reaction videos. It shows it over and over again. Rinse, cycle, replay.
And I agree with Aunt Tammy on that one. She doesn't change. She's boring, and she knows she's boring, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care.
You haven't changed, Amber. I wish you had, but you haven't. Do you know why me and your mom's not talking?
You guys had an argument
Over what?
over personal family things?
Nothing's personal. I mean, what we've aired out, what you've aired out about our family already, I don't think we have much more to hide, do we?
My mom thought she was getting grandma's house. She wanted to keep it in the family.
Well, I'm going to make it clear the true story.
I
That
didn't
way
get
it's
to-
on this recording.
I didn't
And
get
you
to-
can share it with your mom, and you can share it with all your people, and then the truth will be out whenever you're done with your side.
I didn't get to finish. She reacted out of that upsetness. You guys got in an argument. May I ask you why you think this matters in this moment?
Because it shows you guys' character, your behavior, what I put up with in this family, what I have put up with, what I still put up with. It shows that a sister, your mother, my sister, who nobody will doubt for a second I was her keeper.
To me, it feels like your goal in this like going public thing is to make my mom look bad and to make me look worse.
No,
And
it's to show that your mom, just because she got clean and sober, doesn't make you a good person automatically. There's still behaviors that need to be changed.
my mom,
And this was a big one.
like, she's not even a good person who does bad things. She genuinely is a good person who does good things.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and bash my sister tit for tat for you, but you know what I mean. It's real rich coming from you. Real rich. At the end of the day, your mom says that she is a Christian and she's in sobriety. And she, you know, you have to learn to forgive. But when the thing happened about the house, which we still haven't covered, when it happened though, and it wasn't my doing, it started with my mom, and I handled it the correct way. All this time, I thought she was not talking to me about two statements that I made during that time. Turns out, nope, it's just about the house. We go back to the beginning of the house when we originally talked about the house with my mom. I am buying my first home. In their minds, I have a home. My sister, just getting clean and sober, we honestly didn't know, obviously, if she'd even stay clean and sober. My mom was wondering about the house. How could we have my sister in the house? Normally, in a family situation, you do it 50-50 between two siblings. And if the one sibling wants to live in the house, they buy out the other sibling. Say the house is $80,000.
Right.
How would your mom ever come up with $40,000 to pay me out? And I, being the good sister, said, let's not worry about that. Sister can move in the house, and when it comes time for her paying me out, I don't care if she gives me $250 a month for the rest of her life, as long as she has a home. Now, as you know, your mom's going to have 10 years clean. She's in the same apartment, same relationship, same job, doing very well, has a nice little nest egg. So when we're in California, my mom starts it, not me. My mom brings up the house thing. And I look at my mom and I say, Mom, now is not the time. Sister overhears this and questions, huh? What was that? No, I already heard it. I already have it set in my mind that that's my house. So a fight starts. I said two things pretty, I guess, shitty. So I did say, number one, you would never be able to buy a house. You would have to have a house given to you, just like our mother. And number two, you're right. You'll never have a marriage like mine because it takes work and dedication and love and nurturing, which she would never. And if you lie about your mom's relationship with Steven, that's just a whole new level. It's horrible. So tell the story you want to tell, but I got that juice too. So anyway, back to the house though. So there was our little fight. Your mom says, sister, can we just put this at rest right now and enjoy our vacation? And I say yes, and I thought we did. And then it's a big issue again. Well, it gets worse. And the only reason why I'm letting this out is for me. Not for you, not for sister, not for my mom. This is for me. This is the family we come from. My mom and I went to her lawyers, had her trust changed, and she wanted to die having my sister think that she's getting that house. And when that trust is read, boy, would your mom's head would have fucking turned. My mom wanted me to hold that in the whole time while looking at my sister in her face, thinking that she was getting this house. That's the kind of stress I carry for this family. So there you go.
I just don't understand what this has to do with anything.
Shows your maturity.
Well,
But at the end of the day, you are who you are. I am who I am. Largely, it's because of our family. The difference between me and you is you will always play victim, and I will always look to heal. I tried my best with you, Amber. I was never enough. I will never be enough. And as this life unfolds, I see it more and more clear. And you brought up going to visit Crystal. That was hurtful too. Because you know I don't have my daughter in my life. You and my sister both know what that daughter has done and is doing. Where was she when you needed anything? She's a user and a manipulator and a greedy, money-hungry person, just like you guys. That's why you guys get along. I don't get along with my daughter because just like you, I don't let people get away with their shit.
Anybody else watching this react? Like, I'm sure those of you watching this video, not that any of us would ever be in this position or would ever do this. But if you were in Amber's shoes right now, wouldn't you have turned this live off like a while ago? Would have hung up the phone? She's not. She's getting real upset. And yet she won't stop the phone call. She's just not going to do it. She's going to keep that money train rolling.
So I visited Crystal because she's my cousin and I love her.
Good. I hope you guys live a miserable life together. I really don't care. I watch another thing that you said that was so far from the truth is that you talked something about gift giving and that you used to send me gifts and no matter what, it was never enough. Why do you say shit like that when it's so far from the truth? I have videos of me opening up your gifts, crying. I equate you being a bad niece by all your actions, not just one. That's just one of many.
Like,
you don't want to talk about things that happened in your 20s, just years ago, right? But yet you think it's okay to talk about every single thing that happened since the day you were born and use this as an excuse to be the person that you are today.
Because unfortunately, the things that I went through when I was younger, which I only recently found out a couple years ago, led me to have literally brain deformities, which is what is caused borderline personality disorder.
Again, where was the diagnosis? How did she get diagnosed for brain deformities? How do you get diagnosed for that? What? Huh?
So why don't you get help?
And I'm trying,
so you keep hurting
and I'm trying very, very hard to learn the difference between excuse and reason.
Well,
like that, people in the chat are freaking out. They're like, brain deformities. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brain deformities. What?
I sincerely wish you all the best in that. You do need some professional help. I know you say that you've gotten it from time to time, but just sitting over a phone call or a video is not extensive help. You need really inpatient at the end of the day.
Yep.
But I know that will never happen.
Nope.
But you really do. You really need to take some of your money that you're making off this crap and get yourself some real help from a real counselor, face-to-face, weekly meetings, true medication that can help you, and maybe you can come out on the other side. And you do self-diagnose a lot. I hear it.
May I know what I have self-diagnosed myself as?
Oh my God, so many. Watch your videos. I don't have time
if
for
it's
it.
So
There's
many,
too many.
I would like you just to name one then.
Just anything. OCD.
That was
BPD, BPOPD. I don't know. Put all the letters in there. I don't give a fuck.
BPD, see, this is where it's like you're supposed to be my aunt, and whether you're angry or
Yeah,
not,
I was supposed to be.
whether
All right,
you're
I'm not no more.
I don't understand like how it's so easy for you to mock mental illnesses that I have.
Amber, I have just as much labels, if not more, than you do. Documented, proved, treated. I would never make light. It takes a lot to get through these things, but it takes a lot of work that I put into it. You got me to this point because I've held on for so long. And every time I turn on the fucking TV and I look into my niece, I see more and more and more. And it's disgusting.
Maybe something what you need to do is probably log off and stop watching my YouTube.
I've tried that before. Do I need to show those fucking receipts too? Where I told you I need to quit watching your videos for my own mental health? And then the text comes, Auntie, are you watching my videos again? No. I really wish you had watched them. I'm sorry, Amber, I can't right now. A couple weeks later, you come back. You watching my videos again? You don't give a fuck about my mental health.
You are talking about things that genuinely happened
20 years ago, yeah.
So long ago, it's like crazy.
It doesn't. So if things that happened years and years ago don't matter, then quit
No,
bringing up your past as if they do.
I don't want to insult you, but it just feels like you're bitter that me and my mom are close, and you didn't.
I'm not. I wouldn't have played the middle person all that time if I didn't want you guys close. It doesn't even make sense. The goal, the pot at the end of the rainbow was to have my sister clean and you and her enjoy life together. I just didn't know I'd be kicked to the curb in the process. Bitter, I don't think is the right word. Pissed off, I think is more accurate because it's disgusting. Besides this that's currently going on, what I have learned about you through your relationships that I've been watching, I don't want you in my life anyway. Even if we could amend this, you're a horrible person in my eyes now. You're vile. You're self-absorbed, you're manipulative, you're abusive, not only physically, but mentally. So really all this is for nothing because there is no fixing this. I will never be in your life, my sister's life, or my mother's life for the rest of my life. And you can take that to the bank and cash it. Have a good night, Amber, and a good life. I wish you nothing but the best. You can talk all your shit that you want online. I give no fucks. Will I still watch it? Probably. Because you're a mind fuck at this point. I am so mind blown at the way you think and the way you act. Because as a 54-year-old woman, I still have some life to live. And I choose to live it. And I choose to live it without your bullshit in it. And you think it's cute to say I'm obsessed with you, that watched all your videos. That's just weird. There ain't nothing weird about that. I wanted a relationship with my niece, and the only way I got it was through YouTube. I lost, you won. I hope you have a great life.
Now you talked to her real good, didn't you, Amber? You barely said anything.
I didn't even get to say bye.
Girl, you had 40 minutes to say whatever it is you wanted to say, and you barely said anything. You want to know why? Because you were too busy watching the chat. You made the decision real early. I'm just going to let her talk because I don't care enough to say anything. So you did. You had 40 minutes to say what you wanted to say. You chose not to say much and put your attention somewhere else, so you got what you got.
I feel verbally attacked. I know I have issues, like that's obvious. I'm very upfront about them. It makes me sad because she clearly has issues as well, and it's like she's not like aware of them. But one thing that I'm not is I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not embarrassed.
Exactly. I'm cool, calm, and collected. I am not embarrassed. It's because she's got her narc mask on. Like there's no reaching her when she's got the narc mask on.
It's not going to let me look at myself any differently. If anything, it reminded me of how far I have come.
You haven't come far at all. If you had improved at all, Amber, if you had made improvements, if there was a definite difference between the you that started up on YouTube years ago and the person you are today, I would give proper credit. I would say, Yeah, she's different now than what she was before, but you're exactly the same, maybe worse. You've not gotten better, you're worse. You study it yourself. You're a very immature person. You've always been immature. You're not interested in maturity. You're not interested in adulthood. You're not interested in responsibility and accountability. You're interested in just being. And your way of being is just being an idiot, being rotten, being evil to people, not giving a crap. You so live in that ego bubble.
I was hectic in my 20s, especially like my early 20s. I was hectic. Yeah, y'all are both narcissistic. Oh, I felt like I was slightly disassociative or whatever
Slightly, you were all the way disassociated. You weren't even really halfway paying attention to what she was saying.
the word is. And like the couple times I started crying, I felt like I was literally transformed back into like a little girl. Like it was crazy. No, I wasn't gagged or speechless. You weren't even listening to Tammy. I was disassociating, but I
Right. So it's like, what was the point of the conversation? It wasn't to reach through to Amber because there's no reaching through to her. It was just Tammy wanted to speak her piece, so she did.
was listening. I was coping. What are we door dashing tonight? I don't know. Do you think she had anything valid to say, or was it all bullshit? It felt very like just out of nowhere. Even though it was over an hour of conversation, I still don't understand why this is happening. Whoa, what? Like, it is what it is. It was an hour of her screaming, taking her anger out on you. It was hard to respond to like anything she was saying because she would not stop talking. What
Well, that's because Aunt Tammy came correct. She got on the phone with you. She wasn't smoking the Delta 8. She was ready to talk. You said, Amber, I'm ready to square up. I'm ready to talk to her real good. And you chose to take the phone call on a night when you smoked a little bit. You get your head up in the clouds. You chose to take that phone call knowing how feisty she was going to be. So she was ready to talk, and you were not ready to talk. You were just ready to put her on loudspeaker and make that super chat money.
wasn't speechless.
And after all that, if you're curious about her response to her new schedule, and not realizing she's made it to where she has to live stream back to back 2 days in a row, she did address it.
Why live stream 2 days in a row? Why wouldn't you spread it out? So I wanted to spread out my videos. I prefer spreading out videos. It helps with the algorithm. So the only way that I could do that without also having a live stream and a vlog back to back is I had to live stream 2 days in a row. And I love live streaming on Sunday because it's like, the end of a week.
Okay, we don't need to know that. I don't need to cover that. All right, so that's it for this react. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. What do you guys think about all this mess? This is just a lot. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.